just to go ahead and finish up talking about this, we have the two triangles. Remember that I talked about this side right here, PQ and QS were congruent. We also said that PS and SR were congruent. The reason why PQ and QR were congruent because of the isosceles triangle definition. And then the PS and the RS were congruent because of the definition of the perpendicular bisector. Finally, QS and SQ is a reflexive side. So we write that down right here. So QS as congruent to SQ, and that's reflexive. Remember, these are all the definitions that we have right here. Finally, because all those sides are congruent, we can say that triangle PQS is congruent to triangle QRS. That's SSS congruency. Finally, we can go ahead and prove that the two angles are congruent because that's what we were looking to do right here. And we can take a look at the fact that right here, congruent parts of congruent triangles are congruent. And that's true. Any of the pieces that we take from one triangle to the next are always going to be congruent. And that's a corollary, and it's a statement that can be easily proven using a theorem. We've already done that. Okay, so here's some corollaries right here. So here's what we say right here. If a triangle is equilateral, then the triangle is equiangular. Probably wondering what I'm talking about right here. But when we say that when we see an equilateral triangle, we also know that all the angles are also congruent. So they're all equal to 60. The other corollary states that if it's the converse, we take and reverse that. So when we're looking at that right here, if a triangle is equiangular, whoa, that's terrible. There we go. Then the triangle is equilateral. There we go. So basically it states if you see angles that are all congruent, that means that all the sides are congruent. Okay, so we're trying to find the value of x. So we know right here from the fact that all these sides are congruent, that this right here, 2x plus 32, is equal to 60 degrees. So just solve for x. So that's 28. When you subtract 32 from both sides, divide both sides by 2, so x is equal to 14. And it's not 14 degrees, it's just 14. All right. Right here we have to choose which side there is congruent because they made a mistake. One of these should not be here. So we know, since we know that all the angles are congruent, we know that all the sides are congruent. So we have 21 minus y is equal to 2y minus 3. So we're going to add y to both sides, so we end up with 3y. And we add 3 to both sides, so that's 24. Divide both sides by 3. So let's see, divide both sides by 3. So I think 24 is equal to 8. Well, actually not. 24 is not equal to 8. It's just y is going to be equal to 8. So let me just make sure. 24 divided by 3. Yes, it is 8. And now we have a whole bunch of things. So we have measure of angle A, measure of angle B, measure of angle C. So angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to, that's the worst equal to I've ever seen, equal to 180. All right, so now we just need to solve that. So we have 2x plus 3 plus 4x plus 6 plus 3x minus 18. That's equal to 180. Well, almost ran out of space. So 2x plus 4x is 6x plus another 3x, so that's 9x. 3 plus 6 is 9. Minus 18, that's an 18. is equal to minus 9. You're going to add 9 to both sides. So we have 9x is equal to 189. So x is equal to 21. So that takes care of that part. Now we have a couple more parts. Angle A, that's equal to 2x plus 3. Let me change my color. So it's 2 times 21 plus 3. So 2 times 21 is 42. So that's 45. So A is 45 degrees. Now let's take a look at B. Well, that's 4x plus 6. Okay, so that's 4 times 21. So that's 84 plus 6. So that's 90. So this one's 90 degrees. The last one, 3x minus 18. So it's 3 times 21. So it's going to be 63 minus 18. Well, let me see, 315. So it's going to be 45. So first off, we're going to go ahead and write down what type of triangle it is. We'll go ahead and identify it by first its angles, and we have a right triangles. But also, since, why did I put 40? That's not right. That should be 45. That's the worst 45 I've ever driven. Okay. But since we have two 45-degree angles, this also means that this triangle is isosceles. So this means that this is actually what we call a special right triangle. So it's a special right triangle, which is a 45, 45, 90, and we'll get associated with that later. Okay, and that's about it. What I need to tell you guys is the next time you come in, you're going to have a short quiz. I'll go over a review over that quiz before we take it, and you have your homework, which is always done. Let me just go ahead and go to the website really quick. I need everyone to turn in their last assignment, which is this one right here, assignment 1 through 9, parts of congruent triangles, part 2. We'll talk about that in detail on the day I come back. All right, thank you guys. And also we have the assignment, which is right here. So just take that. And thank you very much. And have a nice day.